All right, we are back with our final video in this shirt and our final catch-up post-placement video. I finished Pyramid Head yesterday. I had an excellent time with Pyramid Head. Before this challenge, hated him. As far as killer requests for channel points, he was my most expensive because I never wanted to play him, ever. And I still kind of don't, love him to death, but I will say I did develop an interesting love for him. His zoning capability is pretty insane. It's super fun to not have to hook people. I went against a flashlight squad last night. Um, and luckily with the random perks I had infectious. I had, I think, one other one that supported dealing with that kind of squad. And there were so many times I was able to just throw survivors into cages instead of picking them up so that I didn't have to slug everybody out. He just overall, and I don't know if it's because maybe he doesn't get as much play as the other killers because there's more interesting killers out there. Um, and therefore survivors don't know how to deal with him. But there were a lot of people that just gave up going against him. And I wasn't tunneling, I wasn't camping, I mean, there were times that I would proxy camp or whatever if we got down to like one or two gens. Like in this game specifically, that's in the background. We got down to one gen pretty quickly. Um, and then when we got down to one gen, I was like, well, I need to get somebody out of the game. I should probably proxy camp, this person on hook. Wasn't able to successfully did it. I fucked up. But the point is, he's a decent killer. He's definitely counterable. He has the same counter as every other killer in the game, which is just push gens. If you push gens and the killer has 0 slowdown, you're probably gonna win. The game's not balanced in a way that the killer's able, like, if you tunnel, maybe, if you can't, maybe. So is it balanced in that way? I don't know. I don't go against a lot of people that tunnel when I play Survivor, so it's not my experience, but I hear other people that say that happens to them all the time, and I don't want to take away from their experience. So maybe it does. Um, but the thing I would ask, for example, this one, we were down to one gen or whatever. Not right now, obviously, but we were down to one gen, and I needed a proxy camp. I needed to get somebody to die on hook. I needed to get it down to a 3v1. You know, when you're being tunneled, if you feel it happens that frequently, I want you to look at how many gens are left. I want you to look at how the game's going for the killer and whether or not this specific time that you're getting tunneled is necessary. Think about what's happening on the other side of the game. That being said, I would like to really go over something before we dive into whether or not he got promoted or demoted. For my last match of the Pyramid Head part of the placement challenge, I was on Batum. Mind you, I had like, I don't know, it was so many 3 and 4Ks in a row at that point. It was actually ridiculous. Um, but I loaded into Batum. I was like, okay, well, maybe this is the match that we finally like break our 3 and 4K streak. Um, and I proceeded to go against a team that pumped gens out so fucking quickly that I don't know. It's almost like they didn't want to actually play Dead by Daylight. They just wanted to complete the gens as fast as possible, which is part of Dead by Daylight, I suppose. But like, there was very little interaction with me as the killer. There was very little I could do about it. Granted, it's Batum, so it's hard to kind of control gens anyway. But it brought up a very interesting thing, and I think I might make a separate video on this. But I did want to talk about it in here. In Dead by Daylight, I do not want to tunnel people out at 5 gens. That is not my jam. I don't want to camp the first person I hook to death so that it's a 3v1 immediately. Like, that's not how I play. I play so that everybody can have fun, right? So with that being said, I wish there was a way you knew when you were going against a team that was as efficient as the one I went against on Batum. Because the problem is, if I chase somebody and within my first chase, 2 gens pop, right? That's normal. That's supposed to happen. Depending on what gens pop, they probably just actually made it harder for themselves. I don't know at that point that I'm going to get absolutely demolished. Now, if by the middle of my chase of the second person, a third and fourth gen pops, the fact that I'm in a chase with a second person at that point is not the right choice, but I didn't have any information that would tell me that this is the kind of team that I'm going against. And I wish there was a way we could be able to tell whether or not we're playing a game with a team that's going to like comp team level finish gens and get out of this game and make it a 3-minute speed run versus a game of Dead by Daylight. And I don't know how they fix that. I really don't. But I wish there was a way. Because in that situation, I can know, okay, well, I can employ, you know, dirty strats to try to win this game, because if I don't, I'm just going to get obliterated. I cannot play nice against this team. I have to play hardball. And it just sucks because the alternative is I just have to accept that if I go against that team, at least it'll be quick, but I'm going to lose every single time, and there's nothing I can do about that. And I really wish there was something, and I know that like survivors have, well, not just survivors, Dead by Daylight players have been begging for a ranked and unranked mode. I don't think that would fix the issue. People would just go in the unranked mode and play the exact same way to BM. Like, I don't know, but let me know in the comments what you think. Pyramid Head did get promoted to A tier right below Nemi. I think he's pretty strong. I had a good time, and he'll be added to my roster of killers. I'll see you in the next vid.